All right, we are live, Coven. Get in the chat right now because the Gothic drama has officially gone off the deep end. Tonight, we're breaking down season 3, episode 2 of the Vampire Lestat, Toledo. We have to talk about the hilarious corporate divorce meeting, the incredibly creepy maternal trauma in the flashbacks, and Louis is finally choosing violence. So spam your theories in the live chat, smash that like button, subscribe for more content, and let's dive head first into the beautiful madness of LOUSTAT'S. Oh yeah, tonight's title, Toledo.
Toledo, my goodness. So we have Lestat, who is still on this rock tour, but he takes a detour with his mommy, his fledgling, and gets into some debauchery in Toledo.
Okay. All right. So let's get started. All right. So when Mortal Lestat is severely beaten by his older brothers, Gabriella doesn't try to protect him. She just keeps reading her book. Is her passive detachment actually more damaging to Lestat than his father's direct physical abuse? Let's start with Corey first.
No, because I think she's calculating, and I honestly I think that is who she is. But I will say that it's damaging in the fact that she's not nurturing and protective. But because, they're well past their human, connection, and they've evolved into something different, I don't know if you can judge it with the same judgment that you would a mother-son relationship, right? Since he gave her the dark gift, so to speak, I don't know if those same rules apply. And I do think that if it came down to it where she really needed to be there for him, she would, because she said as much. I can't remember the exact phrasing of the line, but talking about, I've always been there when you really needed me. And she mentioned other times when, she had to come and quote unquote rescue him or save him, so to speak. And maybe not in a physical sense, but kind of as a shoulder to lean on or whatever.
Okay. Elia?
So, to me, this is a very loaded question. I think this is more of a trauma bond between he and his mama, more so than it is also definitely a passive detachment that the mom has just in general, not just with Lestat. But, oftentimes you'll hear people say physical abuse, can be fleeting. The mental ramifications of what happens to us sticks with us. So I don't know how to put it in a measurement, but I will say I feel like his relationship with his mother, albeit she is there and showing up for him, is very unhealthy.
Yeah. And nasty.
Because, he doesn't have those. It's very nasty. It's grotesque. It's absolutely disgusting and filthy, but it makes for great reading, great TV, all the things.
It does.
But he's not that invested in his father, in that way. The mother has, I guess, more of an ability to hurt him because he does at least have some affection for her.
Right.
Exactly. I was gonna remain quiet, but like you hit on it like right then and there, because she had a relationship with him that he didn't have from anybody else. He didn't have a relationship with either of his brothers. He didn't have a relationship with his father. He did have a relationship with his mom though, and the fact that he's being beaten by his brothers, and she just grabs the book and she starts reading, like that's like, I don't respect you. I don't like you. I don't love you. You gonna get it like you gave it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got nothing for you. When, however, it was time for him to he needed money for something, she took her jewelry off and threw it. It's like it's mixed messages. It's like, what are you doing? I don't know where you're coming from, and I don't know what to do with this. So yeah.
I think some of it could be also her unhappiness with her station in life, and she's just so disgusted with everything and the whole situation and the cabbages, right? I mean, just cabbage, and that's how I feel sometimes talking to people.
That's how you feel sometimes. Just bust out calling them cabbage.
They're cabbage. Nothing up there, just cabbage.
It's gonna be my new coded language, cabbage.
Okay, all right. Let's move. In the wolf healing scene, Gabriella rubs ointment on Lestat's wounds while detailing her explicit sexual dreams of freedom. I want to get your thoughts. Do you agree that this spousification drew the exact map for Lestat's adult trauma, ensuring he would only chase emotionally unavailable partners?
I think it is. I think it's foreshadowing, right? I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing from the
Lestat?
showrunner's point of view, and it's a little bit different in the books. If I remember, their relationship, while similar trauma bonding, similar in terms of how it developed, the outcome is a little bit different in how it presents itself, right? She's a little bit more detached in the books than what she is here in the show, it seems to be so far. But I do think that it kind of sets the stage for he's always been emotionally attached or attracted to people who, were detached from him, so to speak, or unavailable to reciprocate his love. I think that's that's part of the charm of Lestat.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was a roadmap, a GPS, a direct walkthrough, a foreshadowing, a five shadowing, a traumatic genesis, all of those things that I can think of to try to conceptualize, or how his mama rubbed that chest down and was hovering over him in front of the nurse, or I mean not nurse, but housemaid or whomever, and and he immediately goes into accept me, like you're mine, like he needed that validation that you don't care about any of these people, in his family, but me. And so 100%, this is the original roadmap.
So this is what I want to say. Like her speech to him, like when she was rubbing that ointment on him, like that came directly from the book. However, like all the touching that she was doing didn't happen. She rarely ever touched Lestat, and Lestat noted that within the book. So when that happened, it was like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on? And the intimacy of that particular moment was like, whoa, this is not consistent with the book. However, they made it plain for us, like in a sick little way. They helped explain the courting, that or the mind manipulation that she had done with Lestat all along, so that number one, he would make her a vampire, and it was just it was a lot in that moment. Now, when he said "accept me," that was not consistent with the book at all. But like she was being like extra intimate, and to the point where it was like, this is sick. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that was
in the books is just kind of it's I mean it's you see it, but it's not as, is it as graphic? I don't remember.
In the book, no.
It's kind of intimated that that's what happens, but at the same time, it's not the same level, right? It's almost like like you're saying, like she used him, I guess she used him in a way, but it's a little bit different the way they present it. I guess the purpose of it is to show the relationship between Lestat and the mom. I think that's the whole purpose of it.
The whole purpose. Whole purpose. All right, so let's move. In the present day, Lestat justifies sleeping in a shared grave with his mother and murdering his family by playing the incest is mathematically inevitable card. Is this the ultimate form of self-delusion, or does "it's different for vampires" actually fly here? Let's go to Elia first.
How can you be Lestat and not be to some degree delusional? Step one. And it's different for vampires is just saying, hey, we didn't go all the way. We only did this. You're minimizing. You are 100% minimizing it. Look, I get where they're trying to spin this narrative. You know, forever is a long time. We're immortals. You know, you're not really alive anymore. You're a whole new creation or whatever. If you're, I'm still feeling like, no, it's cringy. There's too many other immortals that you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Where it doesn't have to be your mom, even if she's your fledgling. That's still a little weird.
It is a little weird. It is. It's one of the more weird parts of the mythos of the Vampire Chronicles, right? But it serves a bit of a purpose to an extent. It just kind of shows up how messed up Lestat's upbringing was, right? And we haven't even met Marius yet. So I mean, so.
And I guess, you know, within the realm, if we want to really take it there, of like you said, the whole mythos and being a vampire and all of that, they drink blood for a living and blah blah blah. So all of it's really nasty anyway. But you know, there has to be somewhat of a line. Either way, doesn't deter me from watching it at all.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I kind of. Do y'all think that she's going to be a heavy presence, or do you think she's going to be one of those characters that's heavy in the first 3 to 4 episodes and heavy in the first 3 to 4 episodes, and then we don't see her because the story kind of progresses a little bit further, and we may not see her again in the series?
If they follow along with the book, we're gonna see her all throughout this season. I'm assuming that this season is gonna be half of the Vampire Lestat, and the next season is gonna be the second half. So we're gonna see her all throughout. We're gonna see her all throughout.
Or this is Vampire Lestat, and then Queen of the Damned next season. Do you think we'll see Akasha this season?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. It seems like this season they are merging Queen of the Damned with the Vampire Lestat.
It does seem like
those two books kind of rolled into each other, and so
because the story that they're telling with the awakening of Akasha, they haven't gotten to that point yet, right? But that's what they're getting to with his music and etc., right?
Yeah, technically, she has been awakened, but we don't learn that. We don't learn that until Queen of the Damned.
Correct.
Unless they leave it as a cliffhanger into the next season and kind of weave it in right at the end.
Yeah.
In which case, Gabriella will be there. She will be there.
Books, girls, and purrs. Hey, no, his mom's badge is not the ocean.
He said, "My penis is the boat." That was funny to me. All right, so for the two of you, I have a question. And I'm gonna read the question. I'm gonna give you some time to gather your thoughts. But while you're doing that, I want people at home to basically I want people at home to answer this question. All right. Basically, so I'm giving you some cliff notes, if you will, to kind of help you out as you think about the question that I'm going to ask. All right, so those are your cliff notes, right? And this is your quote. Well, maybe I should take this down. You all can't see that. All right. So, sound off in the chat. Do you think Gabriella genuinely loved Lestat, or was she just using him as an escape pod from her cabbage life? Let us know in the chat. All right. Now, to the two of you, let's see if I can do this. Nah, I can't. All right. This is the question that I have for you. It's real simple. Does Gabriella's cold neglect and emotional manipulation make her the true architect of Lestat's adult narcissism? Does Gabriella's cold neglect and emotional manipulation make her the true architect of Lestat's adult narcissism? Let's go to Corey first.
I'll say intellectually, because she put her and his intellect far that above his father and siblings, and kind of she promoted that instinct based on what we saw in the show, right? Or what we've seen in the show so far. You know, they had a understanding of literature and things that the brothers and the father didn't really care about, right? And you could see that they're suggesting that, right? I won't say she's the builder, but she laid the foundation. I think who Lestat is several layers upon layers upon layers, and each layer is built by a different person. The founding layer is his mother, then his mother, and then his maker, right? And each subsequent person that we meet that has a defining role in his life kind of adds to the complexities that is Lestat.
Oh yeah.
Beautifully stated, Corey. I'm gonna pull Brittany and say what Corey said, but I do want to say I agree with everything Corey T said. But I do want to say I'm always gonna go back to childhood trauma. So I'm gonna say yes. In essence, she was a part of that, but not single-handedly.
Right.
With him becoming the narcissist, his father as well. You mentioned his maker. 100%. He was failed in his human life and in his immortal life. And so, you know, how his mother and father handled him, how Magnus handled him, like Lestat didn't stand a chance. He really did not. And so I think, again, kind of echoing with Corey, with what he said, there were multiple times throughout his existence, both as immortal and immortal, that shaped the narcissist that we've grown to love.
So Books of Girls and Purrs says, once Lestat took out those wolves, I think she understood she could manipulate him. Maybe she thinks he's a cabbage head too. What are your thoughts about that? Let's go to Elia first.
So Books, Girls, and Purrs, we normally share a brain, right? So I don't know that that she necessarily thought he was a cabbage head too. I do think that showed her the beast that Lestat could be, so she could in essence manipulate him, but not to the degree of him being a cabbage head, that hey, he's the one that will be able to actually just get things done and not just sleep around with everybody and be a very low intellect, that they could probably get some things done, you know, more effectively than the rest of the cabbage heads in the family.
Corey?
I also think that she needed Lestat to do what he did with the wolves as much as Lestat needed to do that, right, for character growth, because ultimately they're in the same boat, and whatever happened to Lestat would happen to her, and you know, that needed to happen for both of them. So in as much, I don't know if she realized at that point that she could manipulate him, or if she realized that there was much more than what she even thought was behind Lestat in terms of his character and what he can do or what he could accomplish. And I think at that point she realized, okay, maybe we're not stuck here.
And it's an opportunity for him to get some respect in that village or township or what have you, because he got absolutely none in the home.
Correct.
What was great to me about what I saw this particular season, they made Lestat a stutterer, which is not consistent with the book. But what it tells me is that Lestat was willing to overcome. He was, and that's basically like a mental illness, right? And without formal training, he was able to overcome. He wasn't 100%, but by the time he became an adult in his 30s, he had overcome his stuttering, right? In addition, he became the man of the house by supplying. The books did a much better job of explaining this. They had no servants whatsoever.
Taking care of his dad.
In the book. He was providing them with food, right? And yes, they were over the land. His dad was a Maquis or whatever. They were over the land in that particular area, and it was their job to protect them from the wolves. And who stepped up? The dad was afraid. Like it was clear the dad was afraid. But Lestat stepped up, and so he's providing food, he's providing safety, right? Lestat was the caregiver, if you will. He was the man of the house. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so what would she think, right? And you got to understand, Lestat was the youngest brother. He's the absolute youngest brother. Lestat had no title. He was just of noble birth, right? He had no title whatsoever. And he had risen himself to that particular stature. He outshined his dad, right? And that was the son that she favors. So she's gonna put all of her everything into him.
And come. So I kept snickering when you kept using the word overcome. I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening.
That's happening.
All right, so let's move. All right, so a little later, and I love it, the Thomas Pitt of it all. I absolutely love it. So Louis meets Lestat around a conference table using the fake name Thomas Pitt, which is a big Easter egg. That basically references Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. He buys Lestat's trashed hotel hallway and claims 45% of his merch sales. Is Louis channeling his unresolved romantic longing entirely through capitalism, or is he genuinely trying to move on? What are your thoughts? I'm going to go to Corey first. What are your thoughts?
I don't think he's trying to move on. I think...
Say it louder, Corey. Say it louder.
If you're really trying to move on, why not just make a break? The easy answer is there was money to be made and I wanted to make it, right? But the real answer behind it is I want to still have some sort of tie to you, right? We have a past, we have a history. I still have a connection, and I want to still have a connection with you, because if you did not, why not just go to the other side of the world and completely do something different? Ignore Lestat and all the things, right? That was also an option, right? But you're back in the States here in the story, right? And you're invested. It's like a game. It's almost like one of those stories where you have a couple that's been together for a long time and then they break up, but yet they're still either friends or they're in group friends, and they keep parading their new partners in front of the other in hopes of making them jealous, right? Or Lestat took the bait too, so
Listen, I'm all for the capitalism, because as his I don't know what the guy's function was, because initially Louis was saying 40%, and then he was like, no, 45. No, first of all, you are not that in love with Lestat's music, merchandise, none of that. You are not that invested in that. It is 100% just a way to stay attached to him. And what better way than for me to have a huge stake in your business that you didn't even know about, by the way. You just signed the shit. And then you want to get upset and flash out Lestat when you realize this man got 45% invested in your merchandise. You do not want to Lestat t-shirt that bad. You don't. You want to be levitating with your French white. You are nowhere trying to get over Lestat. You are not
trying to.
Louis, you are a pimp from New Orleans with all kind of money. You done been around for centuries at this point. You didn't need to get that little merch. You didn't. But
if you wanted to, you could have attached yourself to somebody else and got their merch.
Yes.
Well, okay. Let me play devil's advocate. All right. So Lestat's whole reason of being, right? He's this rock star, right? It's really because of Louis, right? Louis put this book out, right? Well, he didn't publish it, but he put this book out, right? So Lestat is making money himself off of what Louis basically did. So, in Louis's mind, hey, let me get some money off of this. And yeah, I'm gonna continue to kick it with my boo. He don't know he's my boo, but he my boo. Right?
He knows
And
he's
he insinuates himself within Lestat's life, right? Because for all intents and purposes, old girl called and she was like, "Y'all are vampires. Make them forget, and all of this will go away." And at that point, the jig was up, and so Louis was just like, that's when he put his hand on old boy, and I was just like, oh.
It was warfare. He was doing this. He was literally taunting Lestat, and it was so funny. And he sat there as cool as a cucumber. Oh, 45? Okay, well, 45. You know, I would have jumped across, and as theatrical as Lestat is, I am surprised he didn't snatch Louis' ass back up into that sky, and it'd be up and stuck again.
Or Lemuel. Snatch Lemuel ass, because, you know, he had no business being as cocky and as cute chocolate as he was sitting there next to something that he ain't really know nothing about, claiming it like it was his.
What you call him? Cute chocolate? Ooh.
Cute chocolate.
Books, Girls, and Birds says, "Oh, I love that scene. Pimp Louis learned from his sister daughter Claudia and stayed 4 steps ahead. Do y'all agree?"
Yeah.
45%.
He did. I mean, Lestat didn't even know. I mean, that's how much he really cares about what he's doing. He just kind of bored, and he just
narcissistic you are. You are so self-involved.
You don't even know what's really going on. You just this a hobby for you, something for you to do.
Y'all read this from Books, Girls, and Birds. She says Louis trying to give mental health advice is hilarious. Louis, you know you've been hallucinating that man.
100%. 100%.
That's a
yes,
shame.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So during the concert, let's just move ahead just a little bit. During the concert, Lestat literally slows down time, levitates to Louis' balcony, sings "Why Do I Have to Feel?" and flings the memoir back at Louis' face. Why is Lestat so incapable of having a private conversation?
That wasn't private?
I mean, nobody else saw it but Gabriella, and she only saw it because she was a vampire.
Daniel saw it too.
Well, I mean, they don't count. You know, they don't count.
Listen, I'm slow down time. It has if there aren't the theatrics, it is not Lestat.
Correct.
Right? But a private sit down, oh no. I'm gonna flex my power, bitch. And I'm gonna show up as a Virgo on your dog ass and show you all the places you went wrong in this book.
In this bull.
And then tell you what you could have had.
Well, let me ask you in a different way. Why does he have to turn his heartbreak into a stadium-sized spectacle?
Because that is who he is.
Because he's a narcissist.
That is who he is. I mean, that is Lestat. He turns everything into a production or a show. I mean, look at the trial back at Theater the Vampire.
But why?
Because he's seeking attention.
Why?
Because he lacked support growing up.
There we go.
Hey, look, I will stop this whole show just because you hurt my feelings, bitch.
Right.
And I could have wrote all of these beautiful songs about you.
You know, I thought it was almost heartbreaking when he was on that stage and he was like, "Why do I have to feel?" And I was just like, "Oh shit!"
It was a good song too.
And then he threw that book.
I have notes.
But check this out. Louis was unmoved, unfazed,
unbothered.
I said,
wasn't that the sexiest thing ever though?
He was just sitting there looking like,
You want me? You want me?
You still want me, baby.
It's that quiet, arrogant confidence that's just like, I know you still want me.
I think both of them are kind of a little bit of a narcissist in a way, yes. Right?
Louis
gets off on it.
Louis does it in a more subtle, like it stings just as bad,
right?
But it's subtle, like just enough to piss you off. You ever like meet that person and they want to scream and holler in your face, and then your rebuttal is just so calm to where it pisses them off even more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
notorious.
for being calm and being like, well, okay.
Love it. I love
It
it.
makes somebody want to fight you.
Bash my head in.
Right.
All right. So you all have kind of answered this, but this is more for everyone at home. Is the conference room scene actually a brilliant toxic form of relationship therapy, or is Louis just being the ultimate petty ex? So if you're at home, is the conference room scene actually a brilliant toxic form of relationship therapy, or is Louis just being the ultimate petty ex? And it looks like Corey is thinking. Corey, what are your thoughts?
I think it's both. I think he's being petty. I think that he's being petty, but it's also therapy, right? They got to get it out. They got to get the emotions out. They got to get what they're feeling out, some kind of way, right? They got to get it out. They got to express. There's a line in Queen of the Dam where it talks about, someone said something about forgiveness. And I want to say that Lestat said vampires don't forgive or forget secrets. We harbor them, right? We harbor regret. We harbor secrets and things like that. And they don't, right? And so this is a way for them to express. I mean, they have a millennia to replay and digest, and how else are they going to get it out?
Hell yeah.
This was 100% both. I agree. This was mediation. This was litigation. This was I want my lick back. This was all of the things wrapped up in a nice little bow and beautifully displayed. And I'm glad that other people were there to see
it. Speaking of other people there to see it, let's talk about Gabriella. What did you think she thought when she saw all of that just happening?
She was curious who the hell this is, right? Who's this other person that has their ties into you that's not me?
Okay. That's getting close to it. Hell yeah. What are your thoughts?
This was way too much interest in a person that is not of importance. So I think I'm gonna be around for a little while.
Right. I need to see what's going on.
Yeah.
To the point where she took that man picture.
Did. To inquire about him.
Oh, just to throw it in his face too.
Who is this?
I'm trying to tell you. Booze Goes in Purr says neither. It's foreplay. Ooh. Oh,
more foreplay. They did get all worked up.
They did. They did, and then went to go kill a bunch of people later that just want to have spaghetti. Want to just go eat some spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh yeah, I missed something from earlier. I'm sorry, Boozers and Purrs. This is from earlier, the conference room scene. Lestat and his draining system didn't know.
That is draining system. He need to get the plumbing fixed, okay? Because they not working for him. How y'all don't know about this 45%?
Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I think Lestat was talking about something else. But anyway, let's move. All right. How do you feel about the band members' reaction to Lestat being a vampire?
What you expect? I mean, you absolutely expected some of them to be terrified and run off, but then others thinking that, oh, this is an opportunity, right? I mean, in modern society, I think that's exactly what you would expect.
I found it quite comical.
Yeah, it's funny.
Very realistic, like Corey said, very, very realistic reactions, but very comical, down to him, do you have the fire gift?
I love the fact that he was referencing the book Interview with a Vampire. It was like, as much as Lestat called him stupid like twice, he's stupid, very stupid, and then he's the only one who actually read the book and like he knows
what's going on.
Yeah. So TC immediately makes a Twilight baseball joke. Does this lighthearted pop culture reaction make the supernatural horror feel more grounded and believable?
Yes. I think that when you bring an element of self-awareness, it always kind of makes it a little bit better, right? They don't live or exist in a bubble. That's what happens when they do these little tidbits of information. And then it also kind of endears, I think it will endear different fan bases to one another, right? That whole Twilight crowd or whatever that's watching this, because, everybody that consumes vampire media.
I felt like it was shady as hell.
It's both, right? It's both. It's a little endearing, but it's also, people that love vampire media are going to consume all the vampire media.
Indeed, because I watch it all.
Right.
I felt like it was shady because there's a more traditional vampire enthusiast. So the sunshine and you turn into glitter. No, I was not feeling that from Twilight. That pissed me off, actually.
Me too. I thought it was stupid. I hated it. But I mean,
baseball reference, I was like, ooh, shade.
I want my vampires to be dark and moody and stuff like that, not glittering in the sun.
And killing people.
That's what I want.
All right, so Lestat reads the bandmates' minds to expose their pettiest secrets. For instance, Larry wishing they had one guitar, Alex's vegan mood swings. Is Lestat using his powers to protect them, or is he throwing a tantrum because he can't handle them asserting boundaries?
I think he's showing them the extent of his power. I think he's showing them, hey, I know these little secrets, these things that you say about you. You doubt me, you doubt who I am, here's proof of my power, etc. I thought that was the purpose of that. I don't necessarily think it was, I think he was showing them, giving them a little proof, other than a little puff of fire that he did in the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it's Lestat. It wouldn't be Lestat without some sort of a tantrum. But, I feel like he is, in essence, protecting them because he wants this band. He wants it. He
does. He covets it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I chose y'all. I want to do this. That's why I don't have sex with y'all, and I'm not going to kill you.
What do you say? I don't have sex with my bandmates.
This is cut and dry. Looked like old boy that was the other guitarist. Looked like he was a little disappointed in that.
Wouldn't you have been? I would have been disappointed. It's the only reason why I joined this. No, the only reason why I stayed in this band.
My next question would have been, well, can I be one too?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Naya says they weren't scared enough for me and were talking too freely.
Well, you gotta understand when a man comes out in a satin blush colored corset, a certain amount of bravery enters the chat. So now in real life, do we know that they probably should be a bit afraid and kind of shutting the hell up before he have one of his real Lestat moments? 100%. There's something about that pink corset that just kind of softened everything.
It softens it a little bit. It's not as harsh as it could be.
He a dainty vampire. He ain't all that.
Who should have been afraid was the one who read the doggone book. That should have been the one that was afraid. He should have been more afraid because he had more knowledge, right? And he knew that what he was reading was more
stupid.
A cabbage. Cabbage. And we're gonna just, I'm gonna slow it down. I'm telling you, in these streets, cabbage.
Cabbage. So Books Gerstenberg says Salamander was so disappointed when Lestat said he doesn't sleep with bandmates.
Yes.
His feelings were so hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would have been too.
It's like, oh man, shoot.
I do think though, I think there is something to be said. I do think that Lestat was protecting his bandmates. He believed at that particular point in time that Akasha and Ankle wouldn't have risen, and probably the only person that he would have to worry about is Maurice. And so he could handle everybody else, thinking, maybe they would come at him one-on-one, not thinking that they would, tag
Band
team or
together.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think, there's something to be said about that. However, I also think that Lestat doesn't understand people's boundaries. He really he doesn't. He's like, no, I'm the one. I'm the star of the show. What don't you understand about that? I'm the star.
Who cares
All right.
about your boundaries?
I don't know this. I don't know this word.
What is this boundaries you speak?
So let me ask, was that him reading their minds? Was that a violation of human boundaries?
Yes, if you're not in a contemporary story about vampires. Yes, it is definitely violating their definitely without consent.
All
Oh, yeah?
of it is violation.
That's true.
On so many levels, but hey.
That is also true. Drinking people's blood without their permission, and hunting people. The poor people that went to have spaghetti, they didn't choose to be eaten. Yeah. They didn't choose that. They didn't decide to go, we're going to Gino's, honey, and by the way, we're going to get killed while we're there.
Lestat is neurodivergent as a vampire. He don't understand no damn social cues. He have no sense of propriety. No, this is it.
So Nadia says you can tell he really likes them, which is nice because he always talks about vampire loneliness. Not to mention they might go to jail for murder as well. What are your thoughts about that?
That's fair because they are wrapped up in all of this.
They're wrapped up in everything that's going on. So I mean, they could go down with the ship, but at that point, I think that if we were about to go down with the ship, I think I'd be like, "Hey, turn me into a vampire so I can disappear."
Except for this. So Daniel was recording all of that, right? So they learned in the moment, like what was what, and so nothing he had done all up until then could be pinned to them. Right. Now, the manager, different situation.
She knew everything and was in on everything from the beginning.
I like her. I absolutely like her because she does not worry about nothing Lestat has to say. She gives it to him raw and rough.
And that's
and
what
he
it's
likes it
be.
rough.
And he does.
And raw.
And definitely raw.
Does. He does.
Y'all are funny. Y'all. All right.
I've been waiting on this for a decade to come out. So
feels like it, huh? 3 years.
Naya has another comment. She says, "The guy who left, I think he might get turned, or he might be in danger. He's a part of Lestat's crew, and the other vampires are trying to kill him." What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think he may come back. I think he may weigh the benefits with the risk with the reward, and I think he may come back. If he does not come back, then I think that he will probably be killed.
I'm not certain. I think that's a good question. About him maybe potentially getting turned. However, Lestat directly threatened him.
He did.
He directly threatened him, but I think he's gonna come back.
I think he's gonna come back.
I think he had a fairly normal reaction as well, though. Like, you know what? This is not what I signed up. I just wanted to make a bunch of shitty music and jam, and that's it. I did not sign up for the blood sucking concept. This is not what I signed up for.
Okay, Miss Honey is enjoying us. Thank you, Miss Honey.
Miss Honey.
All right, would you? I'm sorry, Elia.
No, I was just saying I love the spelling of the name.
Yeah,
Miss Honey.
I haven't seen Miz in years. I love it. Would you stay in a band with a literal rock star vampire if it meant 20,000 followers? I was kind of like upset about the 20,000. Like that's kind of low. Or would you pull an Alex and run? What are your thoughts?
Say it one more time for me.
So, would you stay in a band with a rock star vampire if it meant 20,000 followers, or would you pull an Alex and run?
I do feel like that's kind of low, but I mean, I think the band is at its
starting point.
Beginning, right? They're fledgling, so to speak, for lack of a better word. So, you know, at this point in time, they're not as successful. I think as the show goes on, they probably become more successful. If it follows anywhere like the Queen of the Dam movie, if they take any of that, because remember he was doing concert shows and all other kind of stuff, so like stadium shows in that movie. So I think they probably pull a little bit from that. I don't know if 20,000 followers is enough, but I don't think I would go anywhere.
Look, there are several reasons why I wouldn't run.
Right. Chief being the fact that he's a vampire.
Rock star. I'm saying, hey, before we had the vampire rock star, how many followers we had? 0.
10.
So,
the 5 of us plus our one close friend.
Right, and we count the instruments.
So Naya says Lestat threatened him, but also said he was the most talented, and Lestat loves talented people.
100%.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for that, Naya.
Miss Honey also says I'd stay, and I think Alex will come back just to be with his brother. What do you all think about that? The element of having his brother there, the brother who likes the limelight.
I think that if your brother is there, I think you kind of want to look. I would hope that there's an element of, well, if I stay for anything, it would be my brother, so we could look out for each other. That's what I hope would happen, right? Because how else would you answer the question to your family? I know we're going well and beyond outside of well, what you mean you're not a part of the group? Your brother's part of the group.
That's a whole conversation piece.
That's a whole conversation that you don't need to have if you're trying to act like you didn't see what you saw.
Hell yeah.
I 100% think that would be the driving factor for him initially going back, but he also just loves the music.
Mm-hmm.
When you're an artist, that shit matters.
And the spectacle too, the spectacle of Lestat. Like with him being a part of it, they're able to do things that they were not able to do before, and I don't know how you run from that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move. And I want to talk about the meeting between Louis and Daniel. So Daniel describes Louis in New York. Louis describes chasing Claudia into a diner, only to find that it was a lookalike. It was a total stranger. What does this tell us about Louis' current state of mind?
Louis hasn't completely grieved Claudia. He's not let it go, and understandably so, and especially being an immortal. So he's not let her go. He 100% is not let her go. And then having everything go the way that it did, with it being, displayed in front of him, and all of the betrayal with Armand and all of that mess, his own trauma from that whole situation outside of watching that happen to Claudia, the things that happened to him. So I don't think he's grieved that completely. Not at all.
I agree.
Corey, would you like to expound?
I think, I also think that, how can you be over that, right? Especially from Louis' perspective, right? And the relationship and the bond the trauma bonding that he and Claudia shared over, the course of that season. I just, how can you, right? And in the books, it was a drastic change, and it affected Louis substantially. So, and it should affect him, right? It should.
Okay, so Louis is completely indifferent to the Talamasca's request until Raglan James drops the name Bruce, the vampire who assaulted Claudia in 1923. Why is vengeance the only thing that can wake Louis up from his depression? I want to go to Elief first.
Is it depression though?
Well, his malaise.
His period of discontent.
Yes, 100% discontent. But much like him with Lestat wanting his proverbial lick back, Okay, vengeance. I had to watch this. This was done to her very violently, and I know the things that she wrote about that Bruce did to her personally.
Mhm.
This was my sister, this was my daughter, all in one. So um Louis, he just needs that push. He needs that push. Some people just need vengeance. And when it comes to someone like Claudia in his life, yeah, that's gonna 100% wake him up because she essentially gave him the strength that he needs to kind of sort of leave Lestat in the first place. And so I think Claudia kind of put more of that fighter in Louis as a vampire. Now we know that the way they have it in the show, he was, kind of a pimp and all these other things, and you couldn't look weak on in the red light district and all of that. But once he was turned and in love with Lestat, he was kind of soft in essence. And
Mhm.
Claudia gave him that dog, that vengeance, that want to fight. So yeah.
Corey?
And not to mention that, it is just another piece of the past that he needs to deal with. It's just something else that needs to be taken care of on his journey to be made whole. Right. Whether or not he realizes is that, I think it will do a lot to kind of bring him out his season of discontent, so to speak.
And it's a trigger, like what he did in New Orleans to the racist man, and like the complete violent way that he murdered him. Sometimes something goes off in Louis' brain and he just clicks.
Right.
So it was Raglan James told Louis that Louis had a dispatchment about him. The way in which he kills is unlike anyone else, right? So Louis is like literally the weakest of the vampires that we're seeing, right? And yet the way in which he kills, you can't. There's never a trace of what Louis does. It's just it's total, and it's filled with passion, baby. Just passion. And the fact that Raglan James is going to him and proposing this, it's like, we're going to give you an opportunity right here. We want you to work with the Talamasca.
Okay. What aren't you saying, Raggedy James? What aren't you saying?
Miss Raggedy James, that girl.
Miss Raggedy James. Okay, all right.
Raggedy and James.
So Books, Girls, and Furs says maybe the book is kicking up feelings again as well. So you think the stranger in the cafe is Merrick? The stranger in the cafe. Do you mean the person that he saw that he thought was Claudia? Is that what you mean, Books, Girls, and Furs? Let's go to the next comment. So Ms. Honey says Claudia's pain is reason enough. What are your thoughts about that?
That was horrifying. That scene. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's enough to witness that from his standpoint. That's all you need.
Books, Girls, and Furs says Louis is his mother's son. He loves a good comeuppance. And to answer the question, yes, the stranger he thought was Claudia. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Who's Merrick? Who's Merrick?
I'm in the middle of Merrick. Well, actually, I stopped reading Merrick so that I could go back and reread Lestat and so I don't know what the deal is.
I didn't read Merrick. I think that was one of the ones I skipped over. I don't remember.
It was kind of boring.
Yeah, I skipped over that one.
So Naya says Louis is not wrong for cutting off Daniel. He's single-handedly destroyed 2 of his relationships. He thought the book would make him famous and have his daughters talk to him again. What are your thoughts about that? I'm sorry.
It would have been
put my glasses on.
It would have been on site. Daniel. On site. Okay. Daniel, you didn't become famous. You became infamous, you bastard. In fact, you was already infamous anyway. But 100%.
But one thing too, though, that kind of may prevent him from that is because of Daniel, he also found out how treacherous Armand was, and he would not have found that out if it was not for Daniel.
Like,
So
the perfect one to throw a brick and hide their hand.
so that's probably why he has not.
So Books, Girls, and Purse says she ain't gonna tell us nothing about Merrick, but I say come on because I'm not gonna remember it a week from now. So tell us what you got to tell us.
Because I don't even remember who Merrick was.
Like, you know me, and I'm going to ask. Like,
was Merrick a woman? I thought Merrick was a woman. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I guess that makes sense because she's saying that Louis thought he saw Claudia, and Merrick is a woman. So,
and she's black. Merrick is black. All right. Miss Honey says becoming a vampire doesn't cure ineptness in relationships. For sure, baby. For sure.
No, it doesn't.
You just give you a longer time to live with it.
Yep.
Okay.
You harbor regret and feelings.
There you go with that quote again.
So Daniel admits to Louis that immortality is defined by immense loneliness and describes the maker bond where the world stops when he feels Armand. Is Daniel's high-energy, drug-fueled, fast-feeding lifestyle just a coping mechanism to avoid facing his own trauma?
Yes, he was doing it when he was human.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He was doing that shit when he was human. Now you just older and still doing that shit. Drugs.
You just immortal and you can do it forever now. The same shit that you were doing. You're not gonna grow from it. It's just you're gonna continue this cycle on and on and on until somebody kill you.
Again. Again.
Now, what did y'all think? I think it was episode 1 where Baby Jinx was looking at Daniel and she said that Daniel's gonna die a violent death.
I was not surprised.
You were not surprised? I didn't know that he was gonna die.
Well, so I can't recall. I feel like Daniel is a combination of a couple of different characters.
Nah, Daniel is Daniel.
Like he was completely made up?
No, like his character. The only thing that they changed about Daniel is his age.
Okay.
Daniel was the guy that interviewed Louis.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember though. She's like, "Ooh, you gonna die real bad."
But does he though? Like,
I
don't remember that.
Maybe you hadn't read that particular book.
What
like
book
I hadn't read. I don't know.
It's the whole chronicle. There's so many.
It is, and I've skipped around. I didn't read in chronological order. I read them out of order.
So Nadia says Daniel tells Louis that the world stops and all he could think about was Armand. She says that's crazy. Sir, that's his ex-husband. I did kind of think about that. Like, ooh, they all having sex with each other. And Louis is the connecting bridge.
I would love to know what happens in between that in-between period. Like when that was happening, I would love to know what that was like. Like, hopefully we'll get like an episode where they explore that a little bit. Cause I'm curious, like what.
Explore what exactly?
Daniel and Armand.
Oh, when he.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bet we gonna see it. I bet we gonna see it.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Because they did a great job of showing when Armand was torturing his ass.
Okay, so Naya says Daniel definitely hyped up Armand in the book because why are kids dressed up like him for Halloween and not Lestat? I didn't see that. Did y'all notice that?
I didn't catch
it.
I didn't notice that. Oh my goodness!
I gotta go back and watch it again. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that scene. That's a good one, Naya. If you caught that, that is a good one.
Dress up like Armand over Lestat.
Right? Because why?
Please.
As if.
I don't know. Anyway, so okay. Does the hunt for Bruce represent a healthy reclamation of Louis' agency, or is he just setting himself up for deeper psychological ruin? What are your
No,
thoughts?
I think it's pure revenge. I think it might be cathartic in a way.
I 100% think it would be therapeutic, and I 10 out of 10 recommend this course of action for therapy for Louis.
And I want to see it violently. I want to see it take place violently.
This is an apex predator against
I wanna
apex predator. It's an even playing field, so to speak. So yes, I think he needs this. I don't think it's going to set him back at all.
Ooh,
He
let's
had
get
it
to these.
coming.
Let's get to these comments because Books, Girls, and Purrs. She dropped some gems. Ooh, the comments are coming. All right, so Miss Honey says the kids were dressed as Claudia, Louis, and Armand. Not Lestat, baby.
Thank you, Miss Honey.
I gotta go back and I gotta
So
watch
from the
this again.
perspective of the book, I guess the book was written from Daniel to make Louis Lestat look like the villain. So I could kind of see where they would then, if I'm thinking about it, right?
Okay, so do you mean the book that we read or the book that they have read in the show?
So I am of the feeling and idea that they're one and the same, right? Like that.
No, they're
That's
not.
what I feel. I feel like that it's the same story, but it's coming from someone else's. It's another narrative of the same story.
Okay, okay. I think
That's how I think we're supposed to take it, but it could not be. It may not be.
I think between the Talamasca and Daniel having their own rewrites because they did, right?
Okay, well that is true.
Right. So how do I say this? Daniel was highly critical of Louis.
Right.
Highly critical of Louis. Whereas the book the book that we read made Louis seem like the sympathetic passive bystander of everything that was happening. But we didn't think that Louis was a liar. We thought, when we read the book, we thought Louis was telling the truth.
The Odyssey of Recollection.
Right. But look, I think that both things can be true. I think that we can be sympathetic, or the book that they currently have is sympathetic towards Louis and also critical of Louis as well. I think it could be both. I'm curious. I'm gonna write the show. I wonder if they'll answer me.
I think once you read the Vampire Lestat, you're of the mind that, oh, Louis got some stuff right. Or do we just believe what Lestat says? Or what is the truth? Is the truth just how you see it?
It's irrelevant. The truth is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant. It is irrelevant.
Okay, Trump.
Because they're inconsistent. They're inconsistent narrators.
Okay, let's get to before they get out of date. Let's read some of these comments. So Books, Girls, and Purrs says yes, and there were two Claudias, and it's the girl dressed up like Claudia that says she doesn't like Lestat, and as he closes the door on them.
Oh, okay. They were true.
I remember that, but I didn't put it together that she was dressed up as Claudia.
The only thing that I noticed was, oh, there's a lot of black people in where he lived. That's the only thing that I thought.
I was more surprised that he opened the door at all.
And gave candy. I thought he would have gave Vampire Face something. Because when I was young, that's what people used to do. They used to try to scare us.
Yes, and keep the candy. I have to buy it much.
So Miss Honey says 2 little girls with Claudia in her blue stage show dress, and the other in her yellow death dress. Ooh,
Thank
Lord.
you.
Jesus.
I'm about to go watch that again. She hated that.
I'm about to go watch it again.
Yeah.
Well,
And then and the Books, Girls, and Purrs says, plus we don't know if it's only the Dubai retelling or if Louis' 1973 version is mixed in as well. Oh, you know what? You know what? Because Louis admitted that when he told the story in 1973, he wasn't really given like 100% of the facts. You know what I'm saying?
No, he wasn't. But the
So
Dubai retelling had happened because of the exposure of Armand too. So we got more story out of it and the recollection that happened in real time.
Yes.
Right? So
Mm-hmm. So Miss Honey says, what do you think Alex's addiction is? Alex. Oh, the one who left. Salamander had thoughts of him finding a group meeting when Lestat read his thoughts.
Drugs or sex?
Yeah. Rockstar.
Porn.
Porn.
Could be alcohol.
Most likely it's alcohol.
More likely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Will taking out Bruce finally give Louis closure over losing Claudia, or is he just spiraling deeper into the dark?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this a little earlier. I'm gonna stand on my same position.
I'm gonna stand on it.
It's
It's cathartic, and it needs to happen.
Okay. Was there anything that I missed?
Apparently, we missed these kids in these costumes.
Obviously, because I never even thought to look at the kids. I was just, look, little Halloween kids. I ain't never even think about that while I was watching the show to pay attention enough to. I guess I should, because they are very. Everything has meaning in the show, and every set dressing and everything has some sort of meaning. So I guess I need to watch even more intently.
I'm gonna get that on a shirt. I didn't even think to look at these kids because I pull up work.
I'm sorry. That's a different meaning now.
So thank you for that, friends.
Don't do that, friend. We started somewhere new. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Ooh, I love this. Miss Honey says,
"Let work. I ain't gonna do that."
If Louis teams up with Lestat to kill Bruce, it'll be even better for both of them. Oh my goodness!
That is gonna be some levitating French white,
fire breathing,
and that may happen. Actually, they may decide to do that.
Talk about the cloud gift. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you think, Miss Honey.
Okay.
Miss Honey.
Yes. Okay, so if there's nothing else that we missed, let's do this. Mayfair to 10. Let's rate this particular episode. Let's start with Corey.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it a 0.5 points up from last week because it was not as jarring as last week's episode was from a narrative point of view. And it was good. I read online in some other groups that some people thought that this was a slower episode, which I didn't agree with. I thought it had the right pace. It gave enough story, backstory, and present day story to kind of keep us kind of moving along the path. So 8 for me.
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness, this petty scale of Mayfair to 10, we can never let it go in this world of Anne Rice.
We won't.
So for me, I'm gonna say it was about an 8.5. I enjoyed the show. I think because initially, Corey, I would have said an 8 as well. What gave me a little bit more was that whole therapy scene with the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That did a lot for me, and that whole slowing time down, that did a lot for me. The mom kind of,
I love that scene too.
All of those reasons why it's more on the 8.5, and the cliffhanger on the end about reeling Bruce back in, which was kind of foreshadowing, and some people kind of mentioned that in the comments, with Louis with an opportunity to get his lick back. Mm-hmm. And so the pilot episode gave me a whole lot, and so maybe just a little bit on the higher end for the pilot, but this one was right up there for me at 8.5.
Ms. Honey says she gave it a 9. She loved the Lestat LOUSTAT'S scenes.
LOUSTAT.
Yes. And
yes, LOUSTAT.
For me, I gave it a 9 as well. For all the reasons that you all articulated, that's why it was a 9 for me. I especially loved how petty Louis was.
Where's your body roll? Where's the body roll? Because when you get excited about there you go. The body roll comes out.
I loved it. And the way in which we left that particular scene and we went to the next scene where Louis was just in the balcony. Number one, Louis, why are you there? Why you that, Louis? Why you that? You're looking at your man. You're looking at your man. And
my
you want him.
45% merch is going. I'm here for that.
And you like you doing all these moves. You ain't do that shit with me. Why? You wasn't rocking that coffin like that. Come on. And then the way that Lestat stopped time after he said, "Why do I have to feel?" and threw that book at him.
Yeah.
And then your boy Louis, unperturbed, just grabbed the shit, but he realized in that moment, this man loved him.
Yeah, he did.
Louis was one word, unfucking bothered.
God damn. And then I'm not saying the next scene because I am like, I didn't even talk about the scenes with Lestat and his mom. But when Louis was with Daniel, he basically told Daniel, "You fucked up my chance to be with Lestat." That's basically what he told.
Basically, that's what he said.
Because
they were on their way to reconciliation until all of it came out.
Because you done embarrassed them now. They had me go in this bookstore listening to these people, these humans talking about me.
And you knew about it, ain't tell me nothing.
And FaceTime and shit.
I love the fact that basically what Raglan James is doing is he's setting up an opportunity for Louis to be in the back pocket of the Talamasca. I love that. It was unforeseen, and first of all, Louis, he has no. I'm not gonna be in the back pocket of the Talamasca, but I am gonna kill Bruce.
Right.
And I loved it.
And I can't wait for it.
It was a callback that you weren't even expecting. Not, like a lot of people were like, Baby Jinx is part of Bruce's gang or whatever, killer, whatever. But even still, I didn't expect that connection. I thought Lestat would have found out, but it's actually Louis. And because Louis likes things to like slowly burn.
Yeah.
And I'm here for the slow burn.
Yeah, Louis got some defiance about him. You see, he didn't join that coven in Paris. No, I don't want to do that. I sit, watch, read a book. Hated it. Okay, I'm not joining that coven.
Now you're going back.
Hated it. We're gonna give it 8 snaps in a twirl. Let me find that t-shirt. Let me find it.
You bitch. I do not want nothing to do with you.
Well, thank you all so very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share on all your social media. Until next time, have a good one. We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.